Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and have taught us this truth, or this word, in truth and sincerity. Peace and mercy, or salutations to the elect, pushing this word, this hopeful elect pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. And peace and mercy to the sincere Akwat that may listen. So Shalom, this is a news update, quick one. I got this video here that the brother from his handle is Yerumya, servant of Yahweh Shai. Go follow that brother. He posts good articles and news updates constantly, day in and day out. But nevertheless, I saw this article he posted, this video he posted of this article. And just the Spirit gave me a couple precepts to bring out in relation to the article, because it's prophecy and we're in the time of prophecy. So I'm going to play the video and then I'm going to bring out the precepts within the video. And then that'll be it.
As I'm going to read this out as best as I can. China states media vows military will show up on the U.S. doorstep soon and China will win. Chinese state-run Global Times media outlet published an op-ed from its editorial board on Wednesday vowing that China's military...
Yeah, and I got to mention because, even just seeing that headline, instantly, what do I think of? Let me bring out the precept. Revelation 11 and 14, and it says the second woe is past, right? Woe represents world war, okay? Because when you look up the word woe, it means death and destruction, basically. And you get a lot of death and destruction in the midst of war. So it says the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So the First World War happened, and that's in Revelation, the 9th chapter. I'll read that real quick. Select. Let me just see if I can find it here. Okay, so I can't find it right off the back, but yeah, there we go. Revelation 9 and 12. One woe is past, that's the First World War, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter. That's World War II, which already passed, and then World War III, which is coming to pass. All right, so I'll read that one more time. Revelation 11 and 14. It says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And quickly is that's the emphasis, right? Because the times right now are speeding. If you haven't been able to realize, man, the Most High, Yahweh Shem Shai is speeding up the times, as he said he would, pursuing back to Matthew, the 24th chapter, right? Because if he didn't speed up the times, like the verse says, roughly paraphrasing, Esau would have done away with all flesh, including himself. That's how wicked this devil is, man. No balance whatsoever. Okay, so let's get back to the article.
China's military will soon confront the U.S. in a hostile exchange. The U.S. will definitely see the PLA show up on its doorstep in the not too distant future. The op-ed said the two sides' warships and aircraft on the sea will carry huge mutual strategic hostility, and the two countries will not yield to each other. Once the situation gets out of control and triggers military clash between China and the U.S., we must give full play to our home field advantage. China will definitely win once there is a war.
Yeah, and this also reminds me of this precept here. Let me get that. because this is what is happening, right? You have these other nations who basically, up until basically the 70s, but really more evidently, up until recently, like a couple years, like 2 years ago, America was on top. It was the big man on campus, so to speak, and all the other nations, were in cower under America, man. They didn't have they didn't have the courage to come up against America. Now, pursuant to prophecy, you have, all these, as we're watching this video, you have nations now on the rise, coming up against America, getting confident, which is pursuant to the prophecy, man. Right? So let me read this. This is Joel 3:10. Beat your plowshares into swords. A plowshare is a farming instrument, okay? So beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks, again, another farming instrument, and your pruning hooks into spears. So basically, go from being an everyday civilian, okay, or everyday civil servant, right? Because that's all a civilian is a civil servant. You go from being that to being a soldier, because now we're in a time of war, right? We're not in a time of prosperity and reaping of food and all that. If anything, no, we're in the complete opposite time. We're in the time of war, a lack and a shortage of food, water, shelter, and even work. So we're in that time, right? So beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I am strong. And the weak is all these other nations who at one time served and was bowing down to America because of their military. But now, over time, these other nations have built up their own military force, right? And they're feeling confident, as you heard, per the video. China is saying that they're gonna meet U.S. on the shores, and they are very confident that they're gonna win. So let's get back to the video.
The Global Times op-ed said the op-ed came in response to U.S. Navy guide missiles destroying U.S. Benefield conducting a freedom of navigation operation near the Mischief Reef and the Operation Islands in the South China Sea on Wednesday. Okay, I'm not going to read the rest. I'm going to let you all go there, but I'm just going to basically explain what this is saying. This is not saying there's going to be a possibility of a clash or of a war. They're saying that there is going to be a war. Now, is what happened is Biden got in the presidency and he wanted to go put sanctions on China. Well, right after he leaves China, the visit over there, we pull our soldiers out of Afghanistan. See, these liberals always think these sanctions are going to get us so far when the other countries don't even listen to the damn sanctions in the UN.
Yeah, of course, right? Because like I read, pursuant to Joel 3:10, these other nations are feeling confident now. They don't care about America anymore. They don't care about what America has to say, or whatever whatever sanctions America is placing on these nations, the countries. They don't care anymore. They're ready to fight back. They've had enough. Right?
And we owe China a lot of money. There's 23 countries that we owe $28 trillion to. Y'all understand that? We owe a lot of money to people.
You hear that? $28 trillion to 28 different countries that we owe money to, or that America owes money to. So another precept that reminds me of, right, is Job, right? Job. This is Job 27 and 27 and 16. It says, "Though he heap up silver as the dust." So, there's a lot of dust in the air, a lot of dust in general. But at one point, America had heaped up riches, just like heaping up dust. As quickly as the corner of your room can collect dust, that's how it was for America. Okay, Babylon, spiritually Babylon in Egypt, to receive the riches that they have received, right? And they did it through their so-called democracy, which really is a ploy it's an excuse to invade other nations, their homelands, and steal their resources. So this goes back to, Cain being that fugitive and that vagabond, that he'll have nothing. A fugitive and a vagabond is constantly on the run, and they don't own anything. Anything that's of their own or anything that they own is stolen. Right? So that's what these Edomites, okay, beginning with the banking families, that's what America has done. And now these other nations are getting fed up. China's fed up. And in the video, he's going to explain all the other nations that are going to get involved in this war, which is another precept that I'll bring out. Right? So let me read this again. Job 27 and 16. Though they heap up silver as the dust and prepare raiment as the clay, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide the silver. Because at the end of the day, everything that these Edomites have acquired through rape, rob, and murdering, or through raping, robbing, and murdering, primarily our people. Because you go all the way back to Cristobal Colon, so-called Christopher Columbus. When he arrived over to this part of the world, he arrived first to Rich Port, which is Puerto Rico. If I'm not mistaken, known as Puerto Rico is known as Rich Port, right? And that's because of the resources there. So this devil has a lot to pay for, man. And you heard the man say 28 different countries that America is in debt to, right? And they got another thing called the petrodollar, where you sell oil. You can buy resources from different nations through this petrodollar. Look it up on Google. And basically these other nations, because America is allied with Saudi Arabia, so they have ownership of their oil, basically. And through that, if another nation wants to get some of that oil, they have to trade their real valuable goods, okay, convert it into American dollars to buy that oil, because that oil, is only sold in American dollars. So basically the scheme was reap of all the other nations' real goods, and in turn, for some oil, before they get the oil, they collect federal notes, which are worth nothing, man. I did a video a couple of weeks ago about all the different countries that are going to be leaving the greenback and basically going to stay away from, the fiat currency. So you can see, man, America's finished, man. This kingdom is falling. It's crashing as we speak. As I speak right now, this kingdom is falling. And that's all praises and glory to Yahweh Hashem El Shai, man. Because that's the prophecies being revealed, being pushed forth. And that's the patience. That's what we have, man. That's the patience. That's a part of the patience and the faith of the saints. Okay? Okay, so let me go back to that video. That was it on this preset. Finish this up.
We owe a lot of money to people. How much of them benefits do you think everybody was going to suck up without paying for it? It says right here, hostility in the two countries will not yield to each other. Pretty much what they're going to do is they're going to come over here and it's going to be in a Navy attack. Navy versus Navy. That's if they even get here. But they have upped their Navy big time. And not only that, they got other countries that have got their back. Iran's going to jump in on this. North Korea's going to jump in on this.
You see?
This is going to be big, guys.
Oh, Salak. Had a timer. Let me take this timer off real quick. So you heard what he said, man. There's a lot of other countries and nations involved. So I don't know if that, I couldn't really hear the last part, so I hope the last part was playable and was heard. But yeah, Slacky, I hope it was playable and heard. I think my phone is connected to something else here. Okay, no, we're good. Anyways, like I said, I hope that was heard and played, but you heard about the other nations and whatnot. So let me get my last precept and that'll be it for this lesson. This is Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8. And Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8, and it says, "Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations," right? You heard all those multiple nations. "To gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation," which means righteous anger. "Even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy," which is going to happen through the nuclear missiles that these other nations are going to be shooting at each other, shooting at America with, and America's going to be shooting back. So anyways, with that, I'm going to close. I wanted to bring this out because it's a news update and it's prophecy. So with that, I hope it was edifying, Lord willing. I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and teaches this truth, teaches this word in truth and sincerity. Salutation to the hopeful elect out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity as well. And peace and mercy to sincere Akwat that may listen. Shalom. And Lord willing, until next time, shalom.